Hello and welcome to this training video on how to manage plant. Firstly, you can see here that we're signed into the Site Manager training project and we're on a project dashboard. Obviously this is quite a new dashboard with limited information in it, but what we're trying to illustrate here is the plant on site in progress workflow, which is essentially your plant register displaying all equipment that's active on the site. And here you can see that we've got a cherry picker here with the relevant details of when that was added to the register. But for now, let's go and add a new piece of plant equipment. We can first now click on the plant folder on the left hand bar, and to add a piece of plant we can then click on the add icon and click plant on site. All we're interested in doing in this screen is titling the plant, so in this case we'll title this piece of equipment as a scissor lift, and we're going to go down to the very bottom and hit add. Here we then hit continue to register the equipment, and we'll be required to complete a few details, for example the description, so the full spec of the item, the supplier, the quantity, the date it was originally on site, and any comment should we wish to do so. We'll then hit the save button and then hit continue. We now need to decide if this equipment needs to be inspected on a weekly basis or not at all. If not at all, you simply hit this button here and the system will then list this equipment onto the plant registry but not list it as requiring inspection. This will need an inspection, so we click this icon here and the system will then be scheduled for 7 days in advance a new plant inspection that will need to be conducted. And that would be either of these two inspections here, or if the equipment had been off-sited prior to the check being required, we simply click off-site and we complete the off-site process without the need to complete an inspection. This equipment is going to need a pure inspection. If we click this icon now, it will take us into the pure inspection screen, where if we open that we have two sections of a form to fill in as such here. Here you can see that we can select the contract name, the individuals who are responsible for this plant equipment, Builders Limited for example, insert the contract number, select the company who's been carrying out the inspection. It could of course be MCS, but in this case we'll select that builder's company, hitting save on that section, and we can go to the next section of the form where we'll be required to document the date of inspection, describe the equipment and any equipment and means of identification, the results of the inspection, and then we can also attach files which in theory could be documentation provided by your suppliers or subcontractors on site who have conducted the inspection themselves. Then select the date for the inspection, the next inspection to be due, sign the document and hit save to progress. Once this inspection has been submitted, it will take you back to the previous screen, which is then would be scheduled for 7 days since the inspection was completed. Now, let's imagine that this equipment has now been off-sited after 7 days of sitting on the dashboard. We can then select equipment off-site, enter this section, and here we have the off-site completed areas where we need to comment, we can photograph, and we can mark a signature against this element, just to illustrate how that operates on the desktop. All of this functionality is fully available within the app, and at this point if you wanted to open the app and conduct an inspection and take photos of the plant before it leaves the site, you are able to do so. Once you've completed the relevant information, should you wish, you then can hit save and then mark this equipment for offsite. And the equipment has now been off-sited, and the system will automatically take you to this screen which will give you a full overview of the plant's history on site. Obviously we've just done this all at one time here, and hit printer friendly view, and all the information then is nice and neatly displayed as the full plant history on site. It is also possible to review all plant on site by clicking this option here, and this plant tab, which is within the folder for the plant, will show you all plant that has been on site and has been off-sited, but you have these little tools here that enable you to filter it. So if we just go to active here, it will show you that cherry picker that we've currently got on site. They'll still be on the dashboard. If we go to those that are completed, it will show you those that we've removed. So Quintuple 02 is the scissor lift. We click on that, that's the piece of equipment that we just put on site and then off-sited. You can go really quickly navigate between these, and even going back to the main dashboard here, we can go back to that dashboard element again and we can see that the cherry picker is still there. And if we click on this element, if we decide then to click on the cherry picker, the plant register will be opened, and we can see that we've got the ability to select which inspection we'd like to complete, or off-site that piece of plant as we've previously done. And again, this will be populated with all of your plant equipment that's active on your site, displayed down the screen.